Welcome to the Autism Action Update. I'm your host, Assemblyman Angelo Santa Barbara. We got a great show lined up for you today. Welcome back to those who subscribe to my podcast, the Autism Action Update. If you are not subscribed, you can easily do that on iTunes for now, and I think there's a new way actually to sign up for some of these podcasts coming up, but we'll keep you up to date on that. We've had a very busy summer, a lot of things happening, a lot of new programs that have been implemented, a lot of legislation that passed that is actually taking effect. We talked about the autism-friendly emergency room pilot program happening right here at Ellis Hospital in Schenectady. You're going to get more updates on that. I'm very excited to see that that's coming together quite nicely. So there's been some progress made. That'll be a pilot program that hopefully will be implemented throughout the state. We actually had on the show not too long ago a group that I've been involved with now that I talked about. It's IBCCES. It's autism, actually an international board, certification board that actually looks at facilities, looks at things like amusement parks and doctor's offices and you name it. And what they do is they certify sensory-friendly, autism-friendly facilities. The International Board of Credentialing and Continuing Education Standards is the official name, short IBCCES. You can look them up online. They're actually doing work. It's kind of nice to know that they're doing work not just here locally across the state in our country, but international. That's pretty significant. They've had quite a bit of success with some of the projects that they've worked on. So if you get a chance, visit their website and see some of the work they're doing. And what's nice is that once they certify facilities, if you're planning a trip, whether it's an amusement park, a water park, or anything at all, a restaurant, it can be anything in a community that they've done work with, you will be able to go online ahead of time to see what sensory, how they are rated for sensory-friendly, autism-friendly, and a number of other categories that are very important to families that travel, that have kids with special needs, kids with autism. Very, very good group. And I just wanted to mention, if you want to know more via podcast, you can look back at our podcast that we did with them not too long ago. We also had a wonderful event right here in Schenectady with the New York State Comptroller who visited Schenectady. He's no stranger to Schenectady. And it was great to have him here to talk about, once again, the NY ABLE program, which is the New York Achieving a Better Life Experience. It's a program that's not new, but underutilized in my opinion. And what this program allows people to do, and I just signed my son Michael, who was also on the show not too long ago. I signed him up for an ABLE account. It allows people with disabilities to have money in their own name, to be able to save, to be able to have their own debit card, and to be able to use that money for disability-related expenses. But the big thing is, people have in the past have been afraid to do that because you risk other benefits, other things that are essential to people with disabilities, other support services. This takes all that away. The NY ABLE program allows you to save money, and you do not risk losing other benefits. That's a really life-changing program, and it's been in effect for a while. We had a program, we had a presentation of it right here at Proctor's last year, well attended. People signed up on site. You can also visit my website, nyassembly.gov. Under Assemblyman Angelo Santa Barbara to learn more about this program, or to you can give me a call, 518-382-2941, and we can tell you more about it and to see if this program is right for you. We're having another presentation on this in the city of Amsterdam at the library there. I also stream these events live if you want to tune into that one on September 23rd. It's a very good program. I encourage you to look into it if it could be right for you or your loved ones. So that brings us to today. I know as I said, it's been a very busy summer. There's been a lot happening in the community, a lot of legislation that has taken place. But one of the things I've talked about with my Autism Action Plan is we talk about workforce, we talk about community, we talk about education. But one of the things that I've looked at done some research on. I've come across, doing that research, what's called the College Experience program, and it's right here at St. Rose. And not right here, but but locally. And I've brought in my two guests today on the show to talk about this. They also are part of the SUNY Schenectady CareerNext, which is right here in the city of Schenectady. So there's a lot to this program. The College Experience program is a certified program. It gives students with intellectual disabilities the opportunity to attend college. How wonderful is that? To be able to be part of a college campus, a college community, and take part in all the wonderful things that happen, all the learning that goes on a college campus. And as I'm thinking about this, I just, the list goes on and on everything that we talk about, learning, being able to achieve independence, working towards things, life skills. I talk about this with my son all the time, life skills, being able to take care of yourself, being able to get ready in the morning, prepare food, a number of other items. So this is a real world experience that now is being made available. It's I don't know if it's one of a kind. It's the only one that I've ever heard of. It may be the only one in this entire area. The College of St. Rose has a groundbreaking program, so I'm very pleased to have introduce my guest on the show, Jennifer Richard, who is the Assistant Director of the College Experience program and CareerNext program at SUNY Schenectady. They have a new name. Just want to remind everyone, it is SUNY Schenectady. And Colleen, I'm going to mispronounce this, Dergosits. Okay, Dergosits. Director of Admissions at College of St. Rose. I want to welcome both of you to the podcast. We have quite a few listeners out there, and I'm sure I've piqued their interest at this point. If you have a loved one or anybody with a disability, an intellectual disability, you may think that is there a program out there, a college program where I can send my son or daughter or a loved one to, and there is. It happens to be right here. So tell us a little bit about, just give us an overview of what the program is not new. The program's been around for a while, right?
Right, yeah. So just to kind of circle back, so the program is a partnership between Living Resources and the College of St. Rose. So started back in 2005, and we started with 4 individuals and now have 40, right? As our numbers continue to grow. So it was an idea that our CEO Fred Ehrlich had. It was a mission and a goal to have a program like this. So he is kind of the force behind the program, and it's an experience for individuals with intellectual disabilities to have, similar to their siblings or to their cousins or friends, to be able to go off to college and like everybody else does, right? A lot of individuals who have intellectual disabilities, when they're graduating school, the unknown is really hard for them and their parents as to what happens next.
And that's part of that, we call it transition. Part of that transition, right, of, and how, I guess that's a good question we can start with. How is that handled? Because it is a new environment, no matter how you look at it. So you're going to college, and is there a transition part of this program?
There is a transition after completing the program. This is one of our, Colleen, as the Director of Admissions, it's one of our goals is to get out there and work with schools to let them know about our program. Even though we've been around since 2005, you still hear even some local schools that say they didn't know we existed, which is hard. It's frustrating for the folks that are out there that need our service. So we're out there pushing into the schools and talking to them, telling them about the program. We're talking to families, and we find word of mouth from family to family is always kind of our best recruitment as far as students coming to our program. But it's the transition is, it's about a year-long process from starting to apply to the program to when a student comes in. Yeah. We want to make sure that the student is going to succeed while in the program. It's because it's a very it's a busy 2 years that they're with us, from academics on the campus to in the dorms and working. So we want to make sure that everybody coming in will be able to succeed, and that it's, we don't want anyone to come who isn't quite ready yet.
Well, I, as you're talking, I'm thinking this should be in our high schools, like in the guidance offices,
exactly.
Of people that, just as an option out there, if people are interested in. So hopefully people listening out there can talk to the high schools, please, about the College Experience program. And, I had a few. My son. We talked about my son. He's into cooking.
Right.
He's taking a cooking class, and I see on the list here of the number of education programs. Cooking is one of them.
Right.
So what are some of the other programs, courses that people can take?
We talk about the classes being functional life skill based courses, so it's a wide variety of courses that they'll take over the course of the 2 years. Cooking is definitely at the core center of our program that they'll take while they're here in the program. And we start off slow, so we're teaching the students basic cooking skills, boiling water, fire safety, chopping and peeling, and it slowly progresses into a cooking class that's about 3 hours cooking a full meal. But another focus of also our cooking classes is health and wellness and nutrition, because the students are away from home for the first time. There's a lot of tempting opportunities in the community and, you know, the college campus itself and all the food that they have there. So we definitely spend a lot of time talking about health and wellness, but also teaching the students how to develop a menu and what does a healthy menu look like for 7 days, and how to stick within a budget and then go food shopping for these items, and then we follow through in the evenings with cooking. So in all different aspects of the program, we're always covering cooking itself, but then in addition to that, we teach the students how to use the CDTA buses and to navigate the area, personal finance and budgeting skills, which goes hand in hand with living away from home for the first time, and
Very important.
not blowing all your personal spending money in the first week that you have it. Career readiness courses, we cover the soft skills of employment with the goal that in the second year a student has a personalized internship. And then fitness, and we also pair that with a wide variety of electives, and those are the fun classes that the students get to choose from each semester.
I see that, and you have is a class called Integrated Independence. That just sounds great. Health and wellness, computers, so some computer programs, post graduation enrichment exploration. So is that out in the community? Is that?
Yeah, so Jen mentioned earlier that we have a transition program after the program ends, and one of the last classes that a student takes before they graduate is kind of talking about what life will now be in the next phase for them. So being more independent and on their own, and now working with a landlord opposed to just working with the residential staff that we have in our dorms, and living with a roommate and splitting the bills. So we kind of try to prep them before they leave us what the next phase of life is going to be like.
I find this just so interesting and enlightening, and I hope that my listeners are also interested and will share this. And there's, again, the list goes on: music appreciation, art. My son is also just if you follow my Facebook, you see that he's gotten into art a little bit, and it was a new experience. It was just wonderful to see people express themselves through a number of different ways: fashion, practical history, and the list goes on. And this also on the website. People can look up the information.
Absolutely.
Why don't we just give out that website real quick?
It's thecollegeexperience.org.
So there's a long list of some of the courses that could be part of this. This is not all of them, but it could be part of this.
Some of them are electives that are offered throughout the year. Right.
So also, I just wanted to touch back on the courses themselves. So you have professors, you have people teaching these classes.
Right.
There's also assistants, right? And also specialized training to be able to teach these type of courses, right? So let's talk about the professors and the people involved with the actual course material.
Right. We have adjunct professors who teach the classes on the campus, so all those classes that you just listed are taught, and the adjuncts are hired through the College of St. Rose, and they're partnering with us and teaching our classes only. So they're mastered level special education teachers who are teaching the classes.
And it's all modified curriculum. So we take the content, we try to make it sure that the students are going to be able to be successful with the curriculum. So all of our classes are for students in the college experience, but then we also offer the ability for them to audit St. Rose courses, and we work with those professors so that the students also get to sit into some credited coursework as an audit.
And I guess the question probably on everyone's mind is, what are there degrees awarded at the end of this? And I think the answer is yes, right? There is.
It's a certificate of completion
okay.
from the College of St. Rose, but it's a great experience because the students get to graduate from the College of St. Rose graduation ceremony.
Yeah.
So they do walk across the stage
That's
with
wonderful.
all the other St. Rose students.
Yeah. The goal of the program, ultimately is independence, as you mentioned earlier. So what is unique about the college experience is that after they graduate, after 2 years, we continue to work with them in that transition phase where we're now helping them find apartments, and through their internship, their second year, hopefully are now in a paid job. So and then Living Resources continues to serve them after. So they're getting minimal support at that point, but they don't just go home to mom and dad's. That would defeat the purpose of the program. They move on to the next phase in life.
And if people, and I mentioned my son again, I know he's interested in cooking. Clearly he loves doing that. If someone comes to the college and says, hey, I have an interest in this specific career path or whatever the case may be, this program is flexible, right? It can be tailored to the interests of the individual.
Sure. Yep. I mean, there's core classes, the independence based that all of our students take, but yeah, we can assist them get involved in other areas of the community if they want to take other classes outside of the program. And SUNY Schenectady CareerNext program that we'll talk about in a few minutes is more individual based, where individuals are going towards certificate or associate's degree that they are choosing.
Okay, and that was going to be sort of my next transition here of how that ties in. That's a different curriculum, and there is an associate's degree and a career certificate that goes along with that. So let's talk about that and the connection. There is a connection. Let's talk about the connection between the two programs.
Sure.
So in my field, when I go out and I'm working with students and families and I'm talking about the college experience, there was a lot of students and families that we were meeting that either tried community college prior, or they have their local or Regents diploma from high school and they want to try community college, but they're apprehensive about it, or maybe they weren't successful. And the laws and regulations are very different in college than it is in high school. So by talking with all these families and realizing that there's students out there that need more support than what a college can offer up front, we kind of put together a program that we called CareerNext. So our goal of our program is to support a student while they're pursuing either accredited career certificate at SUNY Schenectady or their associate's degree by helping them kind of organizing those executive functioning skills, making sure they're not getting lost on the college campus, their accommodations are being met, but then also supplementing a tremendous amount of tutoring and advisement for all of their classes.
And that is on the SUNY Schenectady website, or can that be linked through for listeners just that want to find out? Is that can that be linked through the St. Rose website?
Yep, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so people can just visit the St. Rose website,
yes,
and also get
can be
information
directed there
on CareerNext at SUNY
Right.
Schenectady. Boy, it sounds like just a limitless number of opportunities for people to get involved in this. And this is not something new. So you have students that have gone through this program. What are we hearing out in the community? Obviously you have students that have gone through this, that have graduated. What's it been like?
In the college experience program, we stay very close with our alumni, and we've got 120 graduates to date. So, and it's the best part about our office at Living Resources is on Washington Ave Extension in Albany. So when we drive to campus, every day I drive there, I see our graduates out hopping on the bus to go to work, or walking to the grocery store to go shopping, or to go to their friend's apartment. So it's amazing just to see that they they have their own lives, they have a community, they have friends. And that they're not relying on their mom or dad or their brother or sister anymore, that they they have us kind of in the background to still support them, but they've learned the skills to live independently.
Yeah, that's and independence, that's the key word.
Right.
Trying to work towards the independence. Now this is a full college campus experience, so obviously there's living arrangements, right?
Mm-hmm.
So one of the questions I wanted to ask is what's it like? What are the living arrangements like, and how does that work? How does that all come together?
Yeah, we have 7 dorms now, and each student has their own bedroom, which is something that we find very important for our students. And it can be co-ed living. It depends really on the students coming in, how many males and females. And the residential component is a big piece of the program. So after they take classes all day on campus, they're coming home to the dorm to, have house meetings to talk about maybe any conflict they could be having with their housemates that they now are, kind of thrown into this living environment with. They're doing cooking, they're doing household chores. We really push getting involved on the college community and in their community. So we have so many events that they have to attend throughout the semester. For many of our students, doing things that aren't in their comfort zone is really hard. So it's kind of we kind of push them to do that. So after they've done their academic day and their residential day, then we're saying, all right, go go on campus and go to a ball game or go to, a poetry slam or whatever. So we want them involved in every area possible.
So there's off campus,
Absolutely.
time, and I see there's a list of things nearby and familiar names, Price Chopper, CVS,
Right, yep.
and they can do some shopping, and so it's like a home away from home.
Right.
Yes.
Exactly.
and
And we
it is-
train them to, walk to and from these locations. And as Colleen mentioned, the CDTA is how they, now they can independently get where they need to go. We teach them the different bus routes so that they can go to Crossgates if they want to, and they don't need staff to drive them or their parents to drive them.
And this this is a 2-year program.
Correct.
2-year, and if you were to go on to CareerNext, that would be another 2 or.
That's really individual based, depending
Yep.
on what their major is and how long each individual takes. We will serve them as long as they need to.
Yeah.
They need our support.
Yeah.
There is a residential component to that one as well. It's not as structured as the college experience, but our students do reside at college suites. So we have staff in there for a few hours in the evening to help them, just kind of organize the apartment and do some cooking, maybe help, follow up from if they need to do any extra grocery shopping so it's not as structured, but there is somebody there. Again, if there's maybe conflict that they're having,
Yeah.
they can help them work through those problems.
And I have been to the college suites. Beautiful
Right,
building.
yeah.
Beautiful facilities. Very nice. I guess the next question we could dive into is, we talked about the program. We talked about the sort of some of the college campus experience that people can go through. How do you apply? How do you get into the program? Are there high school students out there we should be reaching out to? What should they be looking for? And you said there's a little bit of transition that goes with it.
Right.
What's the process? How do people apply? How do people get into this program?
So for the college experience, I always suggest a family starting 1 year out from their desired start date. So we start in August for that program. So typically working with families as the student is going into their senior year of high school or their last year with the high school itself. Just attending an open house is a great first step. Having the student and the family come, they'll meet some of our other students, see our dorms, tour the campus to gain a sense of what this is all about. It's really important that the student has to want this more than mom and dad wants this, because motivation goes a long way. And beyond that, then on our website, you can find the application, and it kind of walks you through the application process and the documents that you have to submit. And then we offer all of our applicants, after we review their application, we offer them an overnight trial for them to come again and see what a day in the life of the college experience is like. So we'll pair them with another freshman student. They'll go to classes all day long. They'll spend an evening in the dorm and get a good idea of what this is like before they really sign up for the next 2 years. And it's also a chance for us to get to know the student better than just what's on paper.
And there's nothing better than seeing it firsthand.
Absolutely,
and,
yeah.
Seeing if it's a right fit.
Absolutely.
And I think that's true with any when you're choosing any college.
Yeah.
I think that's good advice. So students with any student with a developmental disability can apply.
Correct.
And I see here. So there's, as far as the application process and tuition. I know OPWG, Medicare waiver, and a number of other things are mentioned here. That's all available on your website. People can check out some of the programs that are available for
absolutely.
tuition.
Yes.
And is there special accommodations made if someone wants to play sports, if someone wants to be involved in some other things on the college? Is there also opportunities for that to be integrated into this program?
Yeah, we have staff that do that very job. They'll help people get connected with different areas of the campus, and our students are parts of clubs and do intramurals, and we want them immersed in the campus, so we'll help them get those connections made.
And being on the college campus is integrated, right? There's other students, there's people, there's teachers, so you can experience, you get the full experience.
Right.
It doesn't matter what classes you're taking or not taking. It's all part of the same campus.
Yeah,
Right.
they eat lunch in the Camelot room. They sit with friends that are going to St. Rose from wherever. So we want them to be just like any other college student, and they do, and it's great.
Well, I want to thank you for being on my podcast, because I think this is a groundbreaking program, and I think it should be made available at other colleges. But you're leading the way here, and I've always been interested in these type of programs. And my son, as I said, he's interested in cooking, and I can see him taking cooking or art classes.
Right.
There's a number of opportunities out there. It's just a matter of finding interest in
Right.
what people are interested in, what path they want to be on. But the important thing is, I think we talked about it. We said it over and over. Teaching independence at this critical age.
Right.
You're coming out of high school, going to the next. You think what's next. This is something that could work for people out there. If you have a loved one with a developmental disability, I encourage you to talk to the College of St. Rose. Check into SUNY Schenectady, their CareerNext program, and see what's available out there. There's a lot more. We can confidently say there's a lot more available now than there was in the past.
Right.
And programs like this, I think more may come out of this at some point. But I want to thank you, Jennifer and Colleen, for being on the show. Let's give out your website one more time, just in case people missed it.
It's thecollegeexperience.org and careernext.org.
And I would encourage you to do some research on this. If you have questions, go on the website, give them a call. That's part of, it says right here, part of the application. The first part is give a call, get a tour.
Exactly.
You can
Yep.
look, you can check it out. It may be a good fit. It may be something that works, but you don't know until you check it out, until you see what it's all about. You can also call my office or visit my website at any time, and we can also give you some information on the College Experience program. But it's great to have you. I've been meaning to have you on the podcast for a while.
you
I'm glad
so
I got
much.
you.
This is
I
great.
got you on. We got to talk about SUNY Schenectady a little bit. We got to
Right.
talk about this program and a number of other things. So I'm very pleased that you're here today. For those listeners out there that haven't subscribed to this podcast, you can do that on iTunes. In a number of other ways, wherever you download podcasts. You can also catch up on what's going on my Times Union blog on their website, or I have a link to it on my website as well. And you can also sign up for my Autism Action Alerts newsletter that's available on my website as well. So thank you for listening. We'll be back with the next podcast. We'll be talking more about some of the things happening, some of the things like the College Experience programs that people may not know about. There's plenty of other opportunities out there that we haven't gotten to yet, but we'll get to them in future podcasts. So be sure to sign up for the Autism Action Update, and we'll see you right back here next time.